anthem and get ready with the rest of the Derby. So let me get my list and we'll get started. First up, we have Carly Eldrith. She's 9 years old from Suffield, number 23, 23X. Today is also Carly's 9th birthday, so. After Carly, we have Lucian Taylor. He's 5 years old from Suffield. He is number 6. Up next, we have Mallory Heater, age 7 from Alliance. She's number 811. The parents might want to help push a little bit, otherwise we'll be here till 10, 11. Up next, we have Paige Heater, age 2. She is a rookie from Alliance. Her number is 1120. Up next, we have Kylie Hamrick. She's 8 years old from Deerfield, number 70. In number X1, we have Logan Chilson, age 5 from Diamond, Ohio. Okay, crowd, they're waving. You guys wave back. Up next, we have Hunter Adelbench, 3 years old from Ritztown, number 3. From Ravenna, we have Meadow Smith, age 3. Derby car number is 1M. From Charleston, Ohio, we have Landon Gump, 6 years old. Derby number is 100X. Look how tough this kid is. In number 7, we have Brandon Putt, 7 years old from Shalersville, Ohio. Shane Lang, 4 years old from Akron, Ohio. He's so tough, he doesn't even have a Derby number. From Ravenna, we have McKenna Stepp, age 5, in number 708. From Mogadore, Ohio, we have Alyssa Blackwell, age 6, in number 06. From Palmyra, in number 6, we have Caden Reed. Caden is 3 years old. Up next is Aiden Madison, number 4D from Ritztown. Aiden is 4 years old. Where's Aiden's fan club? There they are. Up next from Suffield, Ohio, we have Crazy Cat Taylor in number 1. Cat is 7 years old. From Mogadore, Ohio, Leo Smith, who is 4 years old, in number 06 3/4. Up next, Paige Eldrith. Paige is 6 from Suffield, Ohio, and she is at 11X. Up next, we have Gavin McCabe from Palmyra in number 22. Gavin is 3 years old. From Suffield, Ohio, we have Caden Schrader, who is 8 years old. Again, no Derby number, but I'm sure he'll tear it up on the track. Up next, I think maybe our farthest traveler, from Burton, Ohio, we have Caden Kovach, 5 years old. Okay, so they asked me to announce this, and I hate doing it, but the powers that be said I can pull a mom moment. I'd like to ask my daughter Carly to come out here. And over there in that golf cart, I need Mr. Jimmy May to come over here. Jimmy May, turn 86 today? You come out here. Oh, he's waving at me. He's giving me that. But for Jimmy May, and for them asking me to do this, can I get you guys to sing happy birthday to both of them? Okay, I'll start off and then I'll quit. Happy birthday to you. Thank you guys. Okay, 15 minutes. That's what they'll be driving. Each participant gets a trophy. And if you see a good hit, let's cheer your favorite driver on. Good luck and enjoy. We'll starting with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Looks like we may have one on fire over here already. So just like the big cars, things tend to happen out here in the Power Wheels event. Okay, well, right now, the vehicles that we do have out on the track, again, like Shannon was telling us, we did have Gavin McCain out of time, and on the 22, Katie Reed was on the 6th, Hunter Adelman on the 3 out of Rootstown, Callie Hammers is on the 7-0 out of Deersville, Brandon Clutt on the B7 out of Taylorsville, Aiden Madison on the 4 out of Rootstown, the 11-20 Paige Heater out of Alliance, Mallory Heater on the 8-1-1. Meadows Smith out of Ravenna on the 4M. looks like we only have so far of one vehicle off the pace right now. The 4M was Meadow Smith out of Ravenna. 06 3/4 Leo Smith out of Mogador. It's like the 4D and the 06 going head-to-head right now. That's Alyssa Blackwell out of Mogador on the 06. We've got Landon Gump on the 100X. That's Charleston. Diamond, the X1 is Logan Chilson. Katie Schrader on the blue Jeep out of Suffield. Alyssa Blackwell on the 06 out of Mogador. David Kobeck on the Jeep out of Burton. McKenna Step on the 708 out of Ravenna. Paige Eldridge on the 1811X Junior. 23X Charlie Eldridge, also out of Suffield. Lucian Taylor out of Mogador on the 6. Kat Taylor on the 1 out of Mogador. And all 4 of those are sponsored by Eldridge Photography. Should have Shane Long out of Akron on the green Jeep. Leo Smith, the 06 and 3/4. So it looks like we have a couple of them off the pace right now. Again, this is a timed event. Now the one thing they do allow is for the drivers, they can switch out the batteries on these to a lawn and garden style battery just to allow a little bit longer run time if they would like to do so. It's like the 1120 getting down to business. That's Paige Heater going nose to nose with the number 3 right in front of us. That's Hunter Edelman out of Rookstown. 11X coming on in right now to finish things off right there. Now, folks, we do want to send a big thank you out to Shannon Eldridge for getting things going tonight. She's been a big help all throughout the Derby over the years. I'll tell you, the last time we had the anniversary here for the Demolition Derby, she did a huge amount of planning on that. And again, they are already planning the 50th anniversary of the Demolition Derby here at Portage County Randolph Fair. So again, a lot of things going on in preparation for the big 5-0, which will be coming up in 2020. So again, a lot of great things come along. But again, the Elders, big part of the Derby community around here, and we certainly thank them. Shannon, again, doing a lot of planning. Shannon does a lot of photography around here. Do you have any photography needs, whether it be senior picks, weddings, sports? She does all of those. She does a lot of the photos around the fairgrounds too. So again, Shannon, a very big part of your Portage County Randolph Fair. So we want to send a big thank you out to Shannon and Eldridge Photography. So again, if you have any photographic needs, be sure to contact Eldridge Photography, and I'm sure she can set you up with some great photographs that'll last a lifetime. So thank you to her for getting things going tonight. We certainly appreciate all that she does here for the Demolition Derby and the Portage County Randolph Fair.
Let me try it by
Gavin McKay looks like a bump and run. He was making some hits and moving on down to the east end of the track in that bright yellow machine. Got a couple of them riding together out here on the 11X, one of the Eldridge machines out here. Like they did double up. 23X is still rolling strong. Sorry, I was out in the middle of things right now. But we can see the number 6, Katie Reed out of Deerfield coming on in. Looks like the number 11, X1, that's Logan Chilton out of Diamond. Taking it around the grandstand side of the track on that red four-wheeler with the flames coming out of the stack. That's another thing that is the great thing about this particular event. It does give the youngsters a chance to get out into the shop and modify these vehicles, put a paint job on them, put some stacks or some headers out the hood, put the numbers on them, a lot of stickers if they wish, and of course their names. And each one of them will receive a trophy to take home and a lot of stories to tell their friends on how they participated. Here's 2016 Portage County Randolph Fair Demolition Derby leading things off this week. Now there goes Paige Heater on the 1120 in that orange Jeep run down the track. That's going nose to nose with the Jeep down there. And we do want to make sure that all of the drivers and participants, if your vehicle does stall out or the battery runs dead, make sure you get your trophy before you're heading back to the pits. We want to make sure that all of the participants do receive their trophy to take home and proudly display. And much like the fishing story, the demolition derby stories obviously get bigger and better as time goes by. Alyssa Blackwell, the 06. Oh, looks like we may have one of them experiencing some technical difficulties. Nope, she's back on the move. That's Alyssa Blackwell out of Mockador. And she was checking on her co-pilot there on the back, make sure everybody was still safe and strapped onto that. Derby superstars out here on the track. I believe that's the 811. That's Mallory Heater heading around on that other orange Jeep out here. She's got the shades going on. And the proper attitude for the demolition derby. She's out there getting busy, chasing down the number 4D of A.D. Madison out of her roots town. And the one nice thing is you're close enough to see there's smiles on every one of these drivers out there. Looks like they're having a fantastic time. Drivers do add a little bit of traction on the back by putting a sheet metal screw or two on the back tires, leaving the head stick out just a little bit. Looks like somebody also put some bars on the other tire here. We obviously want to keep them fairly much to a minimum out here, but that does help these drivers ensure they do get some traction on these slightly uneven tracks. Looks like we're down to about 3 minutes or so left to go. Once again, making sure that all the drivers are getting recognized. We had Landon Jump on the 100X, Logan Chilton on the X1, Aiden Prater was on the blue Jeep, Alyssa Blackwell on the 06, Aiden Kovac on the Jeep, McKenna Stepp on the 708, Paige Eldrith on the 1811X Junior, Carly Eldrith on the 23X, Alicia Taylor is on the number 6, Kat Taylor's on the 1.
Go, Paige!
Shane Long on the green Jeep. Leo Smith on the 06 3/4. Meadow Smith on the 4M. Mallory Heaters on the 811. Paige Heaters on the 1120. Aiden Madison is on the number 4D. Brandon Hutt is on the B7. Kylie Hamrick on the 70. Hunter Edelman behind the wheel of the number 3, Caden Reed on the 6, and finally Gavin Kane on the number 22. The double deuce rounding out the field of our 21 Power Wheels drivers out here. Okay, we are going to be running another heat of these tomorrow to start things off. Again, giving the youngsters another shot at the limelight out here on the main track. So once again, if you do have a youngster that may want to participate in this particular event, it's very easy to get into. They don't have to modify it all. They do need to have helmet on all the drivers. Aside from that, come out here and have one heck of a good time. We are down to just under a minute to go, so things are winding down out here. Okay, we are under 30 seconds. You got time to get in just another hit or two out here. Mallory here still taking advantage these last few seconds. Take that Jeep up and over the 4D. Okay, they're going to bring them to a stop. Folks, if you would, put your hands together for these youngsters out here. This is going to be your next generation of Demolition Derby drivers out there. I'm sure we're going to be seeing these drivers here in the future. Hopefully that does plant the love of Demolition Derby in these youngsters here, and before we know it, we're going to
making their way up to the track side right now with the flags. We got all the officials coming around. We do appreciate your patience. We did have a lot of drivers come in. We appreciate all the drivers and the fans alike for being out here to start off your 2016 Portage County Randolph Fair with the Smash It Demolition Derby. Now, all the Demolition Derby action is brought to you tonight by our great sponsors, Aleppo, Charchone, and East Manufacturing. So get a big thank you to all of those companies, East Manufacturing, Aleppo, and Charchone, for their sponsorship of the Demolition Derby. What we're going to be doing, we've got a great show lined up. We are going to start out with the full-size trucks. Following that, we're going to have our Smash It Leaf class and then roll into the mini cars. We've got a lot of mini cars tonight. Tonight, everything's going to be a one-shot deal, but we do have a lot of vehicles going to be coming out here tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing the same thing tomorrow. We've got another full show with all the same classes, including the Power Wheels tomorrow. And tomorrow, we are also including the youth adult event. We are going to have the youth out here, age 12 to 16. If you are 16, you can't have a license. But anyway, we do have those youth drivers that do have an adult in the passenger seat. So that is going to be a great show, as it always is. This is a great venue to come out. And on behalf of Smash Demolition Derby, we always appreciate the chance to come out here and put on the show. Now, folks, as we do at each and every Smash It Demolition Derby event, we are going to start things out tonight with a very special performance. We have a lifelong Portage County resident. She's a resident here from Randolph. I was talking to her earlier. She started out doing this about 2001, so this is about the 15th straight year. Back then, you may know her as Mallory Reeser. It is now Miss Mallory Hall is going to be singing our national anthem. So, folks, if you would, please stand, remove your hats, and Miss Mallory Hall is going to perform our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh,
Eugene Baldwin out of Rootstown is going to be leading things off here in the truck event. Nathan Bailey is in the Cassie electronic machine out of a Wyndham. Number 70's got Vince Hamrick here out of Rootstown, sponsored by Brian Constructions and Be Nice Engines. Here comes the 811, Russ Heater out of Alliance, sponsored by Tar Heel Construction. Patrick Kaufman's in the number 43 out of Wyndham, sponsored by Daniels Fence. Here comes Josh Kerr in the cow machine out of Rootstown. Looks like that's a Holstein he's got right there. You got the 9MM. Nick Bonner out of Salvage. That's in the 9mm. The 6, that's a 666X. Josh Wyatt out of Beloit. The 331, that's Matt Schulte out of Akron, sponsored by the SNL Team Towing. Here comes Steve Long in the 755 out of Akron, sponsored by SNL Team Towing. Got to number 7, Jeremy Treese out of Rootstown. Mike Govins in the 410X out of Rootstown. 88, Andrea Wirt out of Randolph. And finally, the 008, that's Jimmy Kovac out of Burton, rounding things off here. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let them go. And they're off and running here in the full-size truck event of our Smash It, Crash It, Tear 'em Up Automobile Demolition Derby. Again, the full-size trucks coming on out here, and they are going to get things done. And even with all this water, they are going to make this an interactive demolition derby. I can guarantee you they're going to be slinging mud up in the sand, bringing the track action right to you here. Right now, the 9mm is going to be bringing on down. Looks like he's picking up a full head of steam, throwing caution to the wind, and I'll tell you, he's doing a great job. That was Nick Bonus from the 9M out of Talmadge. Be coming down through the 331, doing the same thing, I believe, in the 331. That is Matt Schulte out of Akron. Looks like the cow machine starting to get ripped up on the back end, but I'll tell you, he's still making things happen. That's Josh Kerr out of Rootstown. Right now, it looks like the number 7, Jeremy Treese out of Rootstown, trying to get his machine refired, and I believe that's the 008, Jimmy Kovac down at the far end. He got slid down in there, and that was a bit of a rough way to go, and that is the 008. We got the cow sliding back there right next to him. Josh Kerr out of Rootstown, and we're ringing it on in, and I'll tell you, some damage going on. That is courtesy of the 7-0, Vince Hamrick, putting it on Patrick Kaufman. Patrick Kaufman's sitting and spinning right now. He's trying to get him some traction out there, but it looks like he's definitely got something going on the front right of that vehicle. And even getting slid around, he's definitely got something happening on the 43 machine. Now the 755 down at the other end. Steve Long looks like he's out of contention. Number 4D, Eugene Baldwin. Spectator mode as well. They are shoving down to the far end. Looks like they're trying to keep them back into the track right now. Right now, so far, that is just an exhaust flame coming out of there. Nothing to be excited about quite yet, as long as the flame just comes out of the top of the exhaust. It's burning a little bit rich. And that's the number 88. Andrea Wirt trying to get that machine going right now. And doggone it, the 43 looks to be out of contention. And at this time, that's Patrick Kaufman. way back in. That's Josh Kerr out of Rootstown. Going back into the arena right now. Now the trucks are going to pay $12.50 to win, $500 for second, $250 for third, and $100 for a fourth place finish in this particular event. We do have 4 spots for paying out. And there goes the number 70. That's Vince Hamrick out of Rootstown. Looks like he's putting the cow up on top of that concrete barricade. Number 70 taking her on down to track center right now. Going after the 666X Josh Wyatt out of Beloit right now. And the number 70, Vince Hamrick out of Rootstown, still cranking out some hits. This time going after the 410 of Mike Govan out of Rootstown. Well, we may be down to about 5 vehicles left running right now. 4 of these 5 is going to be going away with some prize money. Well, once again, we do have movement out of 4 of these vehicles. Looks like the number 410X, Mike Govan out of Rootstown, was momentarily stalled out. Mike's got her refired and back moving there just a little bit. Looks like the 410X having a bit of a rough spell right now, trying to work its way through that. 666X coming on back. Josh Wyatt out of Beloit. Got the 9mm out of Talmadge. Seconds ticking away for the 410X. Referee's keeping a close eye on that. Right now, the 666X putting her back in the reverse, and it looks like here comes the 811 Russ Heater out of Alliance. Russ is sponsored by Tar Heel Construction. Got a little bit of steam rolling out of the front of that machine right now, and doggone it, looks like the 410X just had the time run out. So what we know is right now in the final 4, looks like we do have Vince Hamrick in the number 70, 666X out of Beloit, Josh Wyatt, 9mm, that's Nick Bonnert, rolling strong. And again, finally, Russ Heater behind the wheel, the 811, rounding out the top 4 here. Well, it looks like the heat starting to take its toll on the number 811. Russ Heater still has a lot of steam rolling out of that machine here, trying to get her refired. 666X, Josh Wyatt trying to punch his way through. Problem is, we got the number 70, Vince Hamrick, firmly perched over on the other side here. Looks like Vince may be somewhat hung up. Right now, looks like a number 70, Vince Hamrick, pretty well perched up on top of the 811 of Russ Heater. On the breakaway, the 666X, Josh Wyatt, finally making his way out of there. Looks like he's definitely got some front end issues on that 666X machine. Okay, looks like time may have expired on the 811 of Russ Heater's machine. Looks like the referee's trying to get the attention. It looks like a 7-0 just got popped loose here. Okay, so 811 is in 4th place. And it looks like time running out on the 9mm in 3rd place. So Nick Bonnert, the 9mm, in 3rd. So right now we're down to a 1-2 finish between the number of 7-0 of Vince Hamrick out of Rootstown. So we got the 666X Josh Wyatt. Looks like right now Josh Wyatt with the advantage. Give him a little slap or two on the side of the 666X. And right now, all the running room with Josh Wyatt. Josh continuing to make some hits, and it looks like he's waving off into 7-0. The red flags are flying. So, folks, right there is going to be your winner in behind the wheel of that 666X machine. That is Josh Wyatt taking the checkered out of Lloyd right there with the wave of the flag. Josh Wyatt taking the win in the $1,250 first place prize. A very respectable second place finish for the number 70 Vince Hamrick out of Rootstown, sponsored by Bryan Construction and Be Nice Engines. Over there in 3rd is Nick Bonnert in the 9mm out of Talmadge. And in 4th place, Russ Heater out of Alliance in the 811, sponsored by Tar Heel Construction. That's your top 4. So congratulations to all of our drivers finishing in the top 4 tonight. Again, that paid $1,250 to win, $500 for 2nd, $250 for 3rd, and $100 for a 4th place finish. I have a couple late arrivals that we were adding to the list right here. So starting things out, we did have the number 1811X. That's Jeff Eldrith out of Suffield, sponsored by PP Mold and Die. And of course, Eldrith Photography. Looks like we do have the 538 coming in next. That is Shane Day out of Ravenna. I believe that's a 2410. Barry Knapp out of Sebring. Okay, 51, that's Robert Hartman out of Deerfield, sponsored by Southeast Youth Football and Skidmore Graphic Design. The 8819, Billy Loudon out of Alliance, sponsored by Eldrith Photography and Voyers Construction. I believe that was a 735 that snuck in Josh Reed out of Rootstown. The T91, Tim Novak out of Suffield. Now the 177X, Tanner Voyers, also out of Suffield, sponsored by Voyer Construction and Graphic Details. Now Tanner started out in the youth derbies, then moved up, I believe, to the compact, finally now in the large cars. So glad to see the progression that he's made. Now here comes Darren Zimmerman in a 717 out of Atwater, sponsored by Action Auto Body and Allen's 187X. That's Justin Massey out of Port Clinton. Cody Kinder out of Mountain, out on the 1128. Looks like Junebug, Caleb Joy out of Grailton. And we got Shane Lovejoy out of Ravenna in the X machine. Jason Lovejoy is in the 841 out of Ravenna, sponsored by Guido's Pizza. And on track 2. We're checking to see movement on the last one. I know there's at least one vehicle that's having some technical difficulties. I see the Okay, the referees are ready, drivers are ready. Let's go ahead and give them a countdown, starting with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let them go, and they are off and running in the Smash It Leaf class. The V8's going to light up the night sky here at the Smash It Demolition Derby, brought to you by Charchone East and Lepo Rent. Right now, the X-Machine, Shane Lovejoy, out of Ravenna, bringing her on back. Looks like he's momentarily rolled up. Right now, so far so good. Looks like all of our drivers are keeping things moving out here. 88-19, that's Billy Loudon out of Lyon. Mixing it up to the 841 at this time. That's Jason Lovejoy out of Ravenna. T91, Tim Novak. Got the whole middle of the track to himself. June Bug going to be. And we got it 7:35 over there on the inside. That's John Green out of Woodstown, putting a hammer down. Robert Hartman out of Deerfield. He's sliding on down to the far end of the track. Slide at least one of them off the ball in the 717. Aaron Zimmerman out of Arizona brings on down the track at a high rate of speed. They're lining them up about 3 deep. You got the 1811X. That's Justin Massey out of Portage. And doggone it, we got the 2410. It is out of contention over here on the infield side. On the infield wall. Not able to get that thing back into contention at this time. We do have the X-Machine tracking it on around and working the middle of the track. It looks like 177 X. That's going to be our driver. Progressed up through the ranks here. Tanner Boyer out of Suffield. Like I said, Tanner started out in the youth event. He is very well learning the ropes here with a lot of great drivers. Had a lot of drivers in the passenger seat when he was in the youth class. Now Tanner's got this large car out here. And he's mixing it up with these drivers, and just again happy to see him progress through large cars from where he started back in. He did very well in a lot of those youth services. Number 51, Robert Hartman, he's down there mixing it up. Shane Lovejoy in X machine. 11:28. Kinder. Okay, well, right, looks like in the middle of the track we do have the 88-19 Billy Loudon. He's got a whole bunch of traffic right around him. The number 51 is going to be punching his way right on through. He's throwing caution to the wind. That's Robert Hartman out of Deerfield. He's just hitting anything that happens to get in the way of that black number 51 machine. 5:38. That's Shane Day out of Ravenna. He's currently mixing it up with the 717. Darren Zimmerman out of Atwater. Losing a radiator. Looks like Tanner Boyer is going to be taking her on down the track there. It's going to take to 187. Hold them up, drivers. Hold them up, hold them up, hold them up. Looks like we may have something on the X machine. Hold them up. Hold them up. Looks like the line are going to go ahead and turn them loose. Let them go once again. $88.19, Billy Loudon coming on inside the side with the 177X. That's Tanner Boyer coming on into the side. We got the 187X Justin Massey. Down at the other end, the 1811X, that's the Eldrith machine. That's Jeff Eldrith. Once again, in this class, we are paying 4 spots as well. 4 spots going to be paid out. Now, in this class, it's going to be $1,500 to win. $750 per second, $500 per third, $250 for fourth. Okay, now once again, we are paying out 4 spots in this class as well. 1,500 to win, 750 for second, 500 for third, 250 for the fourth place finish. Jason Lovejoy in the 841, bringing it in out of Ravenna. That's a nice looking car. He's heading down to the east end, going to be jockeying that machine around. Right now, we got the 88-19. That's Hillbilly Billy Loudon out of Alliance. Nose to nose, staring down the barrel at Junebug, which is Caleb Joy. Got 538 coming on in from the side. Okay, hold them up, drivers. Hold them up. Got the red flags flying out here. Gonna hold them up. Hold them up. Hold them up. Got the red flags flying. Looks like we got a bit of a safety issue. Go ahead and turn them loose and let them go. Getting the action back underway. Right now, the 88-19. Loudon, the Hillbilly machine. Oh, the Hillbilly machine looks like just had some serious problems start on the engine compartment there. It looks like losing some of that valuable coolant. Off the 88-19. Things going to be getting a little bit warm up under the collar. The Hillbilly machine. Billy Loudon's going to be keeping things rolling right along. The 841, Jason Lovejoy. Ravenna kind of going to be bringing it on down. Track center right now. Parking into the side. The 1128, Cody Kendrick. 538, Shane Day. Out of Ravenna. Rounding things out. Jeff Eldrith in the Eldrith photography machine. Coming on in, and it looks like got about 4 of them right in the middle of the track and about another 5 down to the east end right now. So a total of 9. We're going to be paying a total of 4 spots, and it looks like the 841, Jason Lovejoy, can be delivering a special delivery to 1811X, Jeff Eldrith. Getting spun around right now. And in comes Hillbilly. That's Billy Loudon in the 88-19. Going to be spinning the 841. Jason Lovejoy sideways. Going to be stacking and packing them right there, trying to get back to the 538 of Shane Day, Junebug, Caleb Joy. His way on down. And here comes Tanner Voyers in the 177X machine. Hillbilly continuing to get warmer and warmer. 717. That's Darren Zimmerman out of Atwater. Keeping things rolling right along. Looks like Darren's starting to get a little bit of steam rolling out from under the hood of that one as well after his last series of hits. Oh, look at that. I'll tell you, Tanner Boyers was driving his machine up under the 187X of Justin Massey. Remember that 187 popped right up in the air. He got her back down on all fours right now, and I'll tell you, it looks like Jeff Elder is having a little bit of a rough way to go. He just lost his tire. He's got the rim down on the ground of the 1811X machine. And a whole lot of steam belching out from under the hood of the 717. Down at the far end of the track, he's trying to get that machine spun around right now, keeping things moving right along. Going to be bringing it on back to the middle of the track right now. That's Darren Zimmerman out of Atwater. Darren currently turning the loose. Horse is loose, letting him run just a little bit down into the side. The 841. And we got some RPM rolling off. Cody Kinder is 11:28. Timer right now, trying to refire the 88-19. Billy Loudon trying to get her refired in the 88-19 automobile. 841 momentarily stalled out. Looks like he's got her refired. See a little bit of life coming out of those headers. He is back on the move in the 841. That's Jason Lovejoy out of Ravenna. Taking her on down. Jason's gonna hit from the 717, Darren Zimmerman. Looks like the Hillbilly machine may be just out of contention. Jeff Elders in the 1811X getting popped in the nose, courtesy of the 841 of Jason Lovejoy out of Ravenna. And the June Bug, that's Caleb Joy squaring off with the 538. That's Shane Day. Out of Ravenna in that 538 automobile. Once again, got a lot of money on the line in this particular event. Oh, and doggone it, looks like the 1811X time has expired on that machine. Okay, looks like we do have 6 vehicles left running. 6 vehicles left running. Right now, 4 out of those 6 are going to be going away with some prize money in this Smash It class. Cody Kinder. That's Shane Day. Shane Day out of Ravenna is still trying to get that blue and gray machine fired back up. Referee's keeping a close eye. That this time. Looks like we also have 717 on the timer. Darren Zimmerman out of Atwater, and there goes the 538. Looks like he got her back up and running. Still waiting on some movement out of the 717 of Darren Zimmerman. 11:28, Cody Kinder going to be heading on down the track nose to nose for 538. 177X Tanner Boyers out of Suffield. He's coming in and he's trying to get out of the way, but just got caught by the 841 Jason Lovejoy. Junebug. That's Caleb Joy. And they're coming in too wide. Going to be hauling it on down the road. And it looks like he got a little bit of front end damage on the Junebug machine. Front end damage on the Junebug machine. That's Caleb Joy. He's trying to do the best he can with the Junebug, and looks like the 717. He is wrapped up with Darren Zimmerman. They're on the infield side, right about mid-track. Slowly but surely, they are falling off the pace right here. Demolition Derby action brought to you by Char Chum, East Manufacturing, and Lepo Rents. Tanner Boyers in the 177X. It appears that the 177X may not have some steering. I see the wheel being turned around. Nope, none of those inputs on the 177X are making it to the front end of that vehicle out here. Looks like Tanner is going to be destined to go where the 177X decides that he is going to be going. Unfortunately, that's a bit of a rough way to go. We'll see how all of the training that he's gotten over the years, all of the guidance paid off here. You can see Tanner just spinning the wheel on the 177X out there. Oh, and it looks like losing at least one other one. And that's the 1128 Cody Kinder down on this end. So I believe we're down to maybe 4 vehicles currently running at this time. Okay, so we are down to 4 for sure. I got the 841 showing movement out here. That's Jason Lovejoy out of Ravenna. Been doing well all night. Currently going nose to nose with the number 5, a 38 of Shane Day, also out of Ravenna. Junebug, Caleb Joy, running strong, and Tanner Boyers in the 177X. Okay, still down to 4. And the sparks are flying off of Caleb Joy's Junebug machine. He's been having a rough way to go. The 177X, Tanner Boyers, Like he's still making some contact out here, but right now he's not able to turn that vehicle at all. He's definitely got some broken linkage up here, and the 841 going to be driving it home for sure, for sure. These drivers taking advantage of every possible hit they've got out here. It looks like Junebug and Tanner Boyers, neither one of them have very good steering on here, so they are probably having the most problems. The definite advantage with the 841 and the 538. Shane Day behind the wheel of the 538. Jason Lovejoy in the 841. Looks like they've both got at least the best steering cars and so far the best running cars out here. Junebug and Tanner Boyers both dealing with some issues out here on the track, trying to keep these vehicles going. Junebug may be hung up on one of the vehicles out there. Dead in the water. The referee's keeping a close eye on the vehicles they got out here. Okay, and it looks like time expired on the 177X. Okay, so right there we've got the 177X. That's Tanner Boyers finishing in fourth. You got Caleb Joy and the Junebug in third, so it's a 1-2 finish now between the 841 of Jason Lovejoy or Shane Day in the 538. Smoke starting to pour out from under the hood of the 841 right now. Okay, and it looks like the 841, Jason Lovejoy, he's currently hung up on the Hillbilly machine, the 8819. Yep, I think he's got her wiggled off of there right now. Coming back into the 538, Shane Day out of Ravenna. Right now, it looks like the driver's door kind of in the way with the 538. The 841 not able to make a good solid hit. due to the driver's door currently being in the way. Hold them up, got the red flags flying out here, and the checkered going to go to the 841, Jason Lovejoy. Sponsored by Guido's Pizza and on track soon. So there he is climbing out of there. The 538, Shane Day, second place out of Ravenna. Third, Caleb Joy in the June Bug out of Grelton. And fourth, Tanner Boyers in the 177X. Again, the finishing order, 841, Jason Lovejoy taking away the win and the $1,500 in this large car event. Second place, Shane Day in the 538 out of Ravenna. Third, Caleb Joy, June Bug. And fourth, Tanner Voyers in the 177X. Now, folks, climbing out of his machine right now, the 1811X, driver that is very familiar. We were talking about him earlier there. The Eldrith family, the Eldrith name out here. One thing I want to make special note of, now that it's quiet and we can hear, this is the 30th year that Jeff Eldrith has been driving in these demolition derbies. So that is quite an accomplishment for 30 years straight of driving in demolition derbies. So again, our hats off to Jeff Eldrith in the 1811X, and what a run, 30 years so far, and we look for many, many more to come out of the 1811X. And again, hope to see him back tomorrow if he patches that thing back together. Maybe he's going to pull a new one out. You never can tell. But again, a very spectacular run of 30 years demolition derby action from Jeff Eldrith. And again, all of our that's Frank Christie out of Rootstown, sponsored by Collision Craft. We got the 50XL, Justin Crosman out of Rootstown, sponsored by Collision Craft. We got the number 630. That's Kenny Kaiser out of Ravenna, sponsored by Damage Inc. and Collision Craft. The 527, Cody Christie out of Austintown, sponsored by Collision Craft. We've got the Aunt Mary machine. I don't see a number on that one. I do see the 529. That's Robert Mason out of Rootstown. 10/9, I'm told. That's Wesley Neff out of Kent. And we've got the 57X. It looks like Wesley's got a cheering section over on this side, so we definitely don't want to miss Wesley out there. The 57X, Robert Zarka out of Manaway. The 529X. That's Maggie Kepler out of Ravenna. Got the 171, Matt Whelan out of Kent. The 313, Robert Bloom out of a Deerfield. The 1171 coming on right now. That is Ron Kennedy out of Akron. Got the 01, Sean Petrie out of Manaway, sponsored by Sean Petrie Horseshoeing. Got the 804, Mike McLaughlin out of Kent. Driving in loving memory of Danny McLaughlin. We got the Harris Cattle Company machine coming on right now, and I don't see a number on that one. I do see the 23X coming on. That is Matty Heater out of Kent, followed by the 727, Brandon Klingensmith out of a Suffield. Got the 88, Justin Edelman out of a Rootstown. Here comes the number 62. Ryan Wolf, also out of a Rootstown, the number 04. That's Ryan Stevens out of Ravenna. Got the number 96 coming in next. That is Tony Mangold out of Randolph. Got the 83, I believe. That's Jason Webb out of Atwater, sponsored by Berkey's Auto Recycling and White's Farm Supply. The number 34. That's Tom Grund out of a Diamond. Got the 119. Maybe the 419. I'm sorry, that's the 419. Don't believe I have that one on the list here. So they're coming in at a high clip right now. So what I've got I see the number 61. That's Douglas Morey out of Atwater. You got the 44 coming on right now. That's Jeff Lee out of Newton Falls, sponsored by West Branch Bait and Tackle. 331X. 337, that must be Bo Salisbury out of Randolph. Got the WD-40 machine. Sam Kumos out of Brimfield. The number 823, Andrea Kumos out of Mogador, sponsored by Mike's Place. Got the 555. That's Thomas Mangold out of Randolph. The double deuce coming on right now. Corey Mason out of Cuyahoga Falls. And finally the 805, Shay Sane out of Garrettsville, sponsored by Bigger Nation X Video. So the 3.14, Dan Mars out of Randolph came in. Andrew Miller out of Lakemore. 119, Marty Shields out of Akron. 66X was Zach Jones out of Randolph. 06.5 was Tony Smith. Drew